Was there any criteria to hiring a phone sex worker? I mean, obviously, you probably don't care about their looks, really, right? So you bring them in, like listen to their voice and talk, like give them a test call to see if they can get you hot or
It's
something. Or
interesting that you say that because at first I hired really pretty girls to do it, because that's what I was into. Why wouldn't I want to be the boss of really pretty girls? But the really pretty girls, they didn't stick. They didn't show. They're really pretty girls. They're very powerful at that age, girls. 20 to 30. Like very
mm,
hard to hold on to them at a shit job. I started changing my strategy of how I hired people. People would be brought into my office. Girls would be brought into my office, and I would turn around like that show where they sing and they can't see them.
voices or something like that, or
Yeah, The Voice.
yeah, the voice.
So I had a gorgeous like marble office, like real badass, and I would be at my huge like 20-foot desk, and I'd turn around, and my secretary would bring in the girls, sit her down, and I interviewed them for most of the interview without looking at them because it's very hard to separate what someone looks like from what they sound like if you see them, and that worked beautifully, you know. And then we also had a monitoring system on all the calls. So my manager girls could monitor the girls doing the calls, listen in, no big deal. But back then, not everyone could even monitor and stuff. And oh God, when I was like drunk with my law school friends and stuff, I'd go to my business at 2 a.m. to my office, which was separate from where everyone worked, but next door. And we would just listen to all the different channels of the girls, the phone sex girls. So fucking funny. Like hit line 11, hit line 24, hit line 2, It was crazy. It was back when phone sex was new.
Did you get any psychos like coming after, like maybe they wanted their money back and they're coming after you, or coming after the girls in real life?
Not one. Not a single one.
How would you? I mean, were you pretty anonymous as far as the business? I mean, how would
Yeah,
somebody?
yeah, yeah. Oh God, it was so beautiful. You know how like in this world you have to like ask people for money usually in business, like, and usually everything in the world, almost nothing's really worth what is presented as. Like almost everything's a ripoff. So having to go face to face and sell people and take their money, how annoying is that? Like, I just blanketed the world with ads and money came pouring in. Nobody saw my face. I didn't have to talk anyone into anything. It was like I was like, you know what I mean? None of the hassle. Just
Yeah,
like a pure money machine. I worked 3 to 5 hours a week for almost a decade and made millions a year. I delegated everything beautifully. Like I'm of the mind you're supposed to hire people that are better than you, not that are good, but that are truly better than you,
right.
and whether you pull that off or not, when you do that, you can delegate.
So you're raking in all kinds of money off this phone sex line.
Right.
What happened from there? Did the business? I mean, obviously the business must have fizzled out at some point, but
I mean, I traveled. I married. I was engaged to like the prettiest girl from North Miami Beach where I lived. And then I got engaged to the hottest girl from George Washington University when I was there. Like I used to date this girl, Janine, behind the back of the captain of the GW wrestling team. This guy, Doug, who bench pressed 550 pounds and was
mm,
6'5". Fucking killer. This girl loved that I wasn't afraid to be her side boyfriend. Like she's like, he'll kill you. He'll kill. I'm like, he's never gonna kill me. And she's like, why? I'm like, because I'm not his friend. I don't know him. I don't know him shit. If I was his friend, he'd kill me. But he's not gonna even be mad at me if he finds out. So like he never found out. So I never had to find out if he would have killed me. But so I met her years later when I was, killing it in Miami and we got married. So I married like the girl in my college that I was dying for, even though she was my girlfriend off and on, like I really loved her. So I married like my favorite chick. I think we stayed married for 2 years or something. I've been engaged 17 times. I've been married 3 times.
with the business, did you expand to other parts of the business, or did you keep it at the phone sex?
Yeah, I mean I tried to do some other investments along the way, like 911 on the telephone. for the cops or whatever.
Right.
There was a time down in Florida that they were, to raise money, they were selling all the other numbers on the phone. So I bought 711 for like $1 million or close to $1 million
Mm.
on the phone, and I could do anything I wanted with it in Florida. So I was going to do a 711 lawyer, like an easy way to call for personal injury cases to get a lawyer. And I thought I would, since I was a lawyer, I thought I would middleman lawyers with personal injury cases. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who have done that since the years, but I thought, get that fucking 711 on the phone. I can make $1 million back on one case, you know?
Yeah.
So I did that. Then the worst thing that ever happened in my life occurred. My mother died.